Bear's Adventure in the African Savanna. Once upon a time, in the heart of the African savanna, there lived a happy and curious bear named Barry. Barry loved his home in the forest, but one day he decided to embark on a grand adventure to explore the world beyond the trees. So, with a backpack full of excitement and a heart full of wonder, Barry set off on his safari adventure. As he ventured into the vast open grasslands, the wind whispered tales of the incredible sights and sounds that awaited him. The tall grasses swayed rhythmically, creating a mesmerizing dance that captivated Barry's attention. He had heard stories of this place from the wise old turtle who lived in the forest pond. The turtle had spoken of herds of animals migrating across the savanna, of predators on the hunt, and of the majestic beauty that unfolded under the endless sky. Now, as Barry stood there, the reality of the turtle's tales was dawning on him. He continued his journey and soon found himself in a clearing where a pride of lions was lounging majestically in the golden sunlight. These magnificent creatures were the epitome of power and grace. Their presence radiated an aura of authority, reminding Barry of the untamed spirit of the wild. As he watched them, he noticed a lioness gracefully leap over a fallen log, her movements fluid and elegant. Her cubs followed closely behind, their playful energy echoing through the clearing. Barry marveled at the sight, realizing that each member of the pride had its own role and importance. A wise old lion with a thick, flowing mane noticed Barry's admiring gaze and slowly got to his paws. He let out a deep roar that echoed across the savanna, not in aggression, but as a greeting to this unexpected visitor. Barry, though a bit intimidated, returned the greeting with a friendly wave, and the lion, sensing no threat, ambled back to his spot in the shade, resuming his peaceful slumber. This close encounter left Barry in awe of the lion's strength and majesty. It was a moment he knew he would never forget. As the sun climbed higher in the sky, Barry decided to continue his exploration. He walked along a dried-up riverbed, his eyes scanning the horizon. In the distance, he spotted a herd of elephants moving towards a watering hole. These gentle giants were a sight to behold as they gracefully made their way to the water. Barry had heard rumors of their size and strength, but now, seeing them in person, he realized these stories were just a fraction of what they truly were. The elephants, led by a matriarch with weathered tusks and knowing eyes, moved with a calm dignity, their trunks swaying rhythmically. They quenched their thirst and played in the water, spraying it over their backs with their tusks. Barry watched in fascination as a young calf splashed happily in the shallows, its ears flapping like flags in the breeze. The sight of these magnificent creatures up close filled Barry with a sense of wonder and respect. He understood why the elephants were revered and honored throughout the savanna. Their wisdom, strength, and gentleness were a testament to their place in the natural order of things. After spending some time observing the elephants, Barry decided to head towards a distant watering hole. The midday sun beat down on the savanna, and the air shimmered with heat. Suddenly, Barry spotted a lone zebra at the watering hole, its stripes shimmering in the sunlight. This beautiful animal was a symbol of freedom and swiftness. Its sleek body and long flowing mane made it a picture of equine elegance. But Barry noticed that the zebra seemed agitated, stamping its hooves and making distressed noises. As he cautiously approached, he saw that the zebra was entangled in some thorny bushes. Its attempts to free itself were only making the situation worse. Moved by the zebra's distress, Barry decided to help. Carefully, he began untangling the bush, taking his time to avoid causing any harm to the zebra. As the last of the thorns gave way, the zebra looked at Barry with gratitude in its eyes. It whinnied softly, acknowledging Barry's kindness. With a gentle nudge, Barry encouraged the zebra to move away from the danger. The zebra, shaking off its ordeal, dashed towards the herd, its grateful whinnies echoing across the savanna. Barry watched as the zebra rejoined its companions, feeling a sense of satisfaction, knowing he had helped a fellow creature in need. He remembered the zebra's frightened eyes and the desperation in its cries. It was a reminder of the challenges and dangers that animals faced daily. And yet, even in the face of adversity, they displayed remarkable resilience and courage. Barry continued his exploration of the savanna, eager to see more of the wildlife that inhabited this vast grassland. As he walked, he noticed a small burrow hidden amidst the tall grasses. Curiosity piqued. He approached the opening and peered inside. To his surprise, he saw a tiny meerkat poking its head out, looking around nervously. The little meerkat, no bigger than Barry's paw, seemed to be lost and alone. Concerned for its well-being, Barry gently called out to it, hoping to get its attention. The meerkat, startled by Barry's voice, scurried back into the burrow. Barry, understanding that he needed to be patient, waited quietly outside the den. After a few moments, the meerkat reappeared, cautiously approaching Barry. With a trembling voice, it asked, "Can you help me find my family? I got separated from them while playing, and now I can't find my way back." Barry, touched by the meerkat's plight, immediately agreed to help. "Of course, I'll help you find your family," he said kindly. Together, Barry and the meerkat began searching for the missing family. They looked in the nearby burrows, calling out to the meerkats, but there was no response. The little meerkat's hope began to fade as the sun started its slow descent in the sky. Barry, determined to keep the meerkat's spirits up, suggested, "Let's climb to the top of that termite mound. Maybe from up there we can spot your family." The meerkat, with renewed hope, scampered up the mound beside Barry. From their vantage point, they could see a large group of meerkats playing and foraging in the distance. The meerkat's face lit up with joy as it cried out, "There they are, my family." Barry, overjoyed to see the reunion about to happen, nudged the little meerkat towards the group. As the little meerkat reached its family, a wave of relief and happiness washed over Barry. In helping this tiny creature, he had not only solved a problem, but had also learned about the importance of kindness and compassion. Barry continued his journey, his heart filled with the warmth of the day's events. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple as the night began to fall. The sounds of the savanna changed, with nocturnal creatures emerging from their hiding places. Barry, aware that it was time to return home, started his journey back towards the familiar forest. As he walked, he reflected on the amazing experiences of the day. He had witnessed the power of the lions, the wisdom of the elephants, the grace of the zebras, and had even helped a little meerkat reunite with its family. Each encounter had been a lesson in respect and understanding for these magnificent creatures. The night was filled with the sounds of crickets and the distant calls of nocturnal predators, but Barry was no longer afraid. He had come to realize that fear often stemmed from ignorance. By understanding and respecting the animals and their habitats, fear could be replaced with admiration and awe. Finally, as the first rays of dawn touched the horizon, Barry saw the familiar trees of his home forest in the distance. With a sense of contentment, he made his way towards them, carrying with him the memories of his incredible adventure. As he settled back into his cozy den, Barry couldn't help but smile. His day in the African savanna had been filled with so much more than he had ever imagined. He had seen the majestic beauty of the wildlife, the vastness of the grasslands, and most importantly, he had learned the value of understanding, respect, and kindness towards all living beings. The African savanna had welcomed him as a guest and had shown him its wonders, its challenges, and its resilience. Barry knew that his life in the forest would never seem the same again. The savanna had touched his heart and ignited a passion for exploration within him. And so, as the days passed and the seasons changed, Barry often found himself drawn back to the savanna. He would visit his friends, the elephants, the lions, and especially the meerkats, and they would welcome him as one of their own. Barry's adventures in the savanna became legendary, inspiring other forest animals to venture beyond their familiar surroundings and discover the world with open hearts and curious minds.